After death, there will always be rebirth. When the universe takes things away from us, and we go through these phases where everything in our life is stripped away from us, and we're left with nothing but the clothes on our back and our faith in ourselves, just know that everything will be replaced. Everything will be replenished. Everything that has fallen away from you will be given back to you in a new form. We go through phases where everything needs to be shed, and it needs to be shed because we've outgrown ourselves. We've outgrown our life. The universe can see when you're holding yourself back, and when you're allowing things in the external to hold you back. People, places, jobs, anything at all that you're using as an excuse to keep yourself small, to stop you from leveling up into the next phase of your life, will be stripped from you. And it hurts. And it feels awful in that moment, but it is the best thing for you. It is this huge blessing in disguise that will continue to happen in your life. You'll go through phases where everything will be stripped. You'll be reborn. You'll grow again within that phase, outgrow yourself, and then everything has to be stripped again. This is our evolution. This is the path that we're walking down. So in these moments when we're in so much pain, because everything that we know is being pulled away from us and our ego is freaking out, and we're sitting there and we're thinking, oh my God, what is going on right now? Know that it is for your greater good. Anything and everything that's been taken away from you, that's been stripped from you, needed to go, because it needed to be alchemized, transformed, and then brought back to you in a new form that'll fit this new version of you. Any friendships or relationships that have fallen away, any jobs that have fallen away, any situations in your life that have fallen away right now, needed to, because you had outgrown them. And in that movement where everything is shed, space is created for newness to blossom. But you have to keep looking forwards in order for that to come to you. Otherwise you'll get stuck in this space of looking behind you the whole time, waiting for whatever it was that was there in your past to return. But it was never meant to. You're meant to continue moving forwards. That's part of life. That's part of evolution. And our egos love the familiar. We love to feel safe. We love to feel comfortable. We love to stay in the known because the unknown is scary. And it is our ego's job to protect us and to keep us safe. But there comes a point where that ego is hindering us more than helping us. And we're using the illusion of safety that is created in the familiarity as an excuse to stay where we are, instead of registering and recognizing that actually taking that leap of faith and jumping and waiting for that net to appear is actually more safe than staying where we are. The comfortability that we feel in the known gives the illusion of safety. But when things stay stagnant, that's when we fall off our path. That's when our growth is stunted. I believe that our purpose on earth is to evolve into the best versions of ourselves. It's to come into this planet knowing nothing. As children, as babies, when we're born, we know nothing. We don't know how to talk. We don't know how to walk. We don't know anything about anything. But we grow. We learn. We evolve. And then we get to a certain point in our adulthood. And that kind of peters out a little bit. That natural growth that we go through as children doesn't feel so natural anymore. And as adults, it's our responsibility to ourselves to continue pushing forwards. And it's our decision. If you decide not to and you decide you're good where you are and you're cool with that, that's great. But if you're in a point in your life where you want more and you want to continue evolving, then you have to take that power and put it back in your own hands. Because it's our responsibility to pour into ourselves. It's our responsibility to expand. And for me, expansion is the most exciting part of life. It's that growth that drives us forwards. And what pulls us forwards in the physical world, even in our mental and emotional world, is curiosity. And that's why we peter out as adults and why we don't grow as much. Because as children, we are so curious about everything, because everything is brand new. We're so keen on exploring, wandering off into the world, and finding new things, and being interested in knowing what they are, learning what they are, putting our own perceptions onto it, our own opinions, forming our own thoughts. We have to learn how to cultivate that curiosity for ourselves as adults. The way to do that is by looking inwards, finding what sparks you again. Where do you want to expand? What aspect of life makes you feel excited? Makes you feel interested? What is pulling you forwards right now? Where does your curiosity in your own life lie? What is calling you within? Because it's that inward call that's going to ask you to expand. What aspect of your life is begging for growth, is begging for attention, for you to pour into? And the answer usually lies in what's been stripped away. If you look at whatever you've left behind, that's usually where the expansion lies. Because you've outgrown what's fallen away, and it'll come to you, reborn and renewed, when you choose to expand it. But it's your choice to expand. You have full autonomy over your own life. You have to take a conscious, intentional step forwards towards what it is that your curiosity is pulling you towards. Because it's not enough to just stay curious. You have to actively put in that work to make that blossom. It's like tending to a garden. You have to go out and do the weeding. You have to actively plant the seeds, water them, make sure there's enough sunlight. You have to look after it. And only then do you see growth. Because without that love and care that you're pouring into it, your plants will never grow. Your garden will be overrun by weeds. Everything will fall into chaos, because that's entropy. Entropy is the natural decline of everything into chaos if you don't actively choose to put in the effort and the work to maintain what it is that you're wanting to maintain. Entropy is a natural law of the universe. It just happens. We have no control over it. The only way that we can fight it is by using our own life force energy to pour into whatever it is that we want to maintain. And if your goal is expansion, not only do you have to pour energy into maintain, you have to pour extra energy to make it grow, make it blossom, make everything bloom. In this lifetime, you are building your own empire. And that should excite you. That empire is whatever you make it out to be, in whatever realm, whatever aspect of life that you want it to be within. That can be in your career, that can be in your family, that can be in your friendship circles, your communities. It can be in your health, in your fitness world. It can be in your artistic endeavors and pursuits. Really, the world is your oyster. And it's up to you what you choose. And the funny thing about curiosity is that you never actually know where you're going to end up. Because you can choose to be curious about one aspect of life. Walk down that path for a time and find that you diverge in a completely different direction to the way that you expected it to. But it was that initial butterfly effect that led you down that path for you to arrive where you are right now. And it's these small little shifts that happen in the world, this law of cause and effect that's constantly at play, that's moving and shifting our lives. Yes, we have control over what we're doing, but there's also this other universal aspect that's always around us and influencing us. This is the energetic aspect of the universe. And this is what the co-creation of reality is. It's you working in tandem with the rest of the universe. You're always being guided. The universe is always in this constant state of flux. Everything is always changing. Everything is always moving. Nothing is ever stagnant, even when it feels like it. Even when your mind is telling you that it is. Even when you're stuck in one place and you feel like you haven't moved. Things around you are still evolving and changing. If you've been feeling stuck recently and you've been feeling like you're trapped in the reality that you're in, or you're trapped in a liminal space, or you're resisting stepping forwards, maybe you have the opportunity to step forwards, but you're hesitating. Ask yourself why. What is holding you back? What fear are you holding on to? What mental pattern, what emotional pattern is coming up within you that's stopping you from taking the next step forwards and leveling up in your life? Because you're the only thing that's going to hold you back. You can blame external aspects. You can come up with reasons and justifications as to why, but you're the one who put yourself in that situation. Because all of the thoughts, beliefs, actions, anything that you've taken up until this point in time has led you here. And you can choose differently. All you have to do is become aware and become conscious of the choices that you've been making. And change. Choose differently. Awareness is the key to the majority of issues that you'll have in your life. Because once you're aware of the problem, you can change it. But you have to have that internal power and internal strength to choose change, because that can be scary. Your ego can really flare up in those moments. And you can allow your fears to encompass you and tear you down and keep you small. Or you can choose to feel that fear, acknowledge it, know that it's there, allow it to be there. Don't ever try and squash your fears, because your fears are necessary, because that's part of the human experience. Take those fears, know that they're there, and choose differently anyways. Choose to trust yourself. Choose to prove your own fears wrong. You are here to expand and to create the reality that you dreamed of and you desired. And it's up to you to get there. And you have every power within yourself to do so. All of it lies within you. You just have to recognize that and continue pushing forwards. Expand your consciousness. Start reading more books. Start listening to more podcasts. Start watching the people who have the life that you want to live. And notice the small little habits that they have. The small little aspects of them that they do that maybe they're not even aware of and conscious of. They're leading them down the path that they've chosen. Start trying to implement that in your own life. Expand your mind. Expand your awareness of what's available to you in the world. Because maybe there's stuff out there in the world that you love, that you don't even know that you love yet because you don't know it exists. Because you haven't opened your mind enough and learned enough about the world to see that it's there for you. Start expanding internally. Expand your mind. Expand your emotional body. And you'll find that your physical world around you will expand as you do. This transitional phase that we all go through when something falls away and you're waiting for the new to come in, this is where your growth happens. This is where the internal expansion happens before everything breaks and then suddenly the external opens for you. Because it'll feel like nothing's happening. You'll have nothing, and then everything all together. And you'll realize why you went through everything that you went through. Why the universe handed you all of those situations that maybe you perceived as negative at the time because your ego couldn't see past that to realize that it was actually a blessing that was leading you down that next path in order to get you where you needed to be. Maybe you're asking the universe for all these different blessings. Maybe you ask the universe for more money, and then all of a sudden you lose your job. It's because the universe is trying to hand you a better job. You know? Maybe you want more stability in your life, so that friendship or that relationship falls apart. But it fell apart to create room for a better community to come through. Maybe that relationship was causing you instability internally. Maybe it was causing you stress, causing you anxiety, causing you pain. And it needed to be taken away in order for you to be handed something better. Know that we go through this cycle. Know that nature moves in a cyclical way, and we are part of that natural world. Humans are not exempt or excluded from that. Allow yourself to be taken down your own path, and put your energy and your effort towards yourself as you walk down that path. Know that you are guided. Know that you are cared for and you are loved by the universe, and that everything is working out in your best favor.